Hey guys, just doing a Bible reading this morning before team meeting, and I was looking at the book of Philippians. Felt really challenged. Actually, that was last night, and I never got round to it. But reading Philippians and sort of the topics of comparison and pride and humility came up in my mind, and I just wanted to share maybe a couple of really quick glimmers and insights from my Bible reading. Read the whole of chapter 2 if you have time. But I share here from verse 3. It says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourself." The world tells us to elevate ourselves, make yourself as big and as good as you can be. God's saying here to count others as more significant than yourself. It's literally the opposite message. And when someone is struggling with comparison, what's the first thing that they seek as a quick fix? And that's encouragement. And I'm a great believer in giving encouragement. But the thing is, you come up to someone that is struggling with comparison. Maybe you're that person, but someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, you're absolutely brilliant at that. You're far better than that him, her, or the other." It is a quick fix. I mean, that boost of encouragement can last 30 seconds, can last 10 minutes, can last 2 days. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't last. It doesn't fix the problem of comparison. So while I'm such a believer in encouragement, it's not the fix for this. I believe the fix for this is to stop elevating yourself and to start elevating others. I think that's what God's calling us to. Let's read on. Let each of you not only look to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. Lay down your own desires and wants to benefit those around you. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus. So Jesus has modelled how we can have a mind that elevates others over ourselves, and that lowers ourselves in humility. And people, I'm not saying that in a negative sense. I'm actually talking about lowered in the positive sense, in the way that God calls us to humility. Christ Jesus, who though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God as a thing to be grasped, but he emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form. He humbled himself by becoming obedient even to the point of death. Jesus is this perfect example of someone who is so worthy of praise, yet by his own choice, by wanting to model something for us, he lowers himself in humility. He elevates others way above himself in his experience here on earth. Now, how did he show his humility? He showed his humility obviously by his lifestyle, but he showed it by being obedient. God is calling us to be obedient. When we're disobedient, I was reading last night, when we're disobedient, we wage a war in our own soul. We wage a war in our own souls. 1 Peter in chapter 2, verse 11. So live in obedience. Struggle with comparison. Live in obedience. Look at the example of Jesus. Because if there was ever someone that could have came with a really high and mighty mindset, it was him, because he's God. But no, he chose to elevate others over himself. Maybe today, to deal with your comparison issue, you don't need to be puffed up. You don't need to be told you're brilliant. You need to know that the root to humility is to place others above yourself. And I think you'll find freedom in that even today. Philippians chapter 2. Sorry, that's probably all over the place, but it's just my real quick thoughts. Philippians chapter 2. And I read verses 3 through to 8.